Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my video on my custom baritone string set from Stringjoy. So what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. My name is Ray. I'm a guitar player here on YouTube. I've got some friends with me. I brought some props for today's video. Yes, we're going to be talking about my baritone string gauge, what I like to use, what I like to feel when I'm playing the strings, all the above. Just going to talk all things string gauges, and yeah, man, I'm stoked, obviously. Before we go any further, this is not a sponsored video by Stringjoy, okay? I just want to make that very clear. I'm choosing to make this video. I just wanted to share, just my philosophy with string gauges because arguably the most popular question I ever get is what string gauges I'm using, especially with my baritone. So I figured I'd talk about some strings, just my overall philosophy and what I'm looking for. Just hang out with you guys and just play some riffs, have some fun today, okay? So let's get started. So I've been playing Stringjoy strings almost exclusively for the past couple months now. And me being a baritone guitar player, I was actually fortunate enough to try out some Stringjoy strings while on tour this past spring. And I was playing in drop G at the time, and it was perfectly fitting because Stringjoy has a signature drop G tuning baritone set. So these strings were great for that endeavor that I was a part of. However, when it's my turn to create, I like to go a little bit lower. I like to go down a whole step from drop G to drop F. So this string set, although it's incredibly useful for drop G, I couldn't just do a one-for-one swap, tune my baritones down a whole step and still run the same string gauge. I wanted to, put my own little flair on my own little set, right? Enter, my custom order. So let's not get it twisted. This is not like a signature, string set. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm coming out with my own signature line. No, what I'm trying to show you guys and just what I'm excited about is Stringjoy allows you to customize your own string gauges, and you as an artist, as a player, can, basically choose whatever string gauge you want for however many strings you need and all the above. So what I just did is I just took the exact same string gauges that I've been used to playing in drop F, and I just said, hey, Stringjoy, can you guys just hook me up with your own rendition of my favorite, string set for a baritone guitar? And they knocked it out of the park, man. So I'll get some B-roll here, but we have a 13, 18 plain, 30, 44, 56, 72. And in comparison to the drop G strings, we have a 13, 17, 22 plain, 36, 48, 68. So if you notice the two different string gauges, they're kind of drastically different in the middle. On the low end, it's a little bit bigger on the set that I built just by a couple gauges, and on the high end, it's almost identical. So I guess what I'm kind of more used to is just having bigger strings across the board, but more specifically in the middle. I've been on the record for saying I like to play as light a gauge of string as possible, especially with a normal scale guitar. However, that philosophy doesn't really pertain to baritones and 30-inch scale length and drop F. In my opinion, and at least in my experience, there's really no such thing as a light gauge of strings for that low of tuning. Now, I'm sure somebody does it, and I'm sure somebody plays in drop F with really, really light gauge strings. However, for me, that philosophy and that wishful thinking kind of has to go out the window when I'm that far down low, especially with single coils and just a 30-inch scale. Say it again, I need some tension, you know what I mean? But I try to have a light a gauge string as possible on the low end. A 72 yes, that's a massive string, but it's not like the biggest string you could get. You know what I mean? I know guys that play 80s and above. I mean, Lee from Bring Me the Horizon plays an 80 gauge string on a Les Paul. Anyway, so a 72 is a nice medium for me, where it's a lighter gauge of string. It's not the biggest string in the world, but with that being said, it's you know, it does hold the tension relatively well. 72 is a pretty big string, you know. One final thing I want to say that Stringjoy did that was awesome is on the low 72 string, the 72 gauge string, they did it to where when you enter it into your guitar tuning peg, it's wound not as much. So it's skinnier to where you can put enough of the string through. And then when it's time to, you know, tune it up and tighten it, you don't have to like unwind the string and like do modifications to the string. It fits in perfectly. It's skinny where it needs to be, and then it's thick, you know, an actual 72 gauge where you're playing and where you're fretting. So that was really refreshing. I didn't ask for that. It's just something that they kind of did. So that was super rad. But just to reiterate, the reason why I'm making this video is just to share with you guys, you know, these are the strings that I'm more accustomed to and used to, especially with Baritone's single coil jazz masters, drop F, 30-inch baritone, scale length, all the above. So everybody, all in all, just a quick little video on my string gauges for my baritones. Like I said, not a sponsored video. I'm just stoked, man, and I just like to share my information with you all, okay? So everybody, that's going to do it for this video. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. With that being said, I am out of here. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay metal. See you guys next time. Later.